today's episode on Justice for You. My name is Jegede Oluwatola Comfort and I remain your host. And this is Justice for You brought to you from the stable of Edfords Foundation and bettered right out of our My Rights, My Freedom project. And today we are going to be discussing on something interesting. I have two beautiful ladies here with me. One is a lawyer and the other is a real estate agent. And so they will be introducing themselves shortly. So to start with you.
Hello, I'm Okwemi. I'm an associate at Expo Chambers.
Hi guys, my name is Jessica. I'm a real estate agent with Spruce and Settle Realtors.
Okay, ladies. So take a deep sigh because we're about to discuss something very interesting. So our topic for today is girls, women, and crime.
Okay.
The underlying factors of crime among women and girls. So, here at Effort Foundation, like you know, we go on prison visitation and then we take cases. And something we've discovered is that there's a high rate of, one of the highest causes of, the highest causes of crime in the female prison is centered around stealing. It has to do with stealing. And then I thought that this is a conversation that is worth having. I mean, not just stealing on its own, but the whole crime system in itself. And then girls, women, and stealing. So to start with, what do you think the underlying factors of crime are among women and girls?
Well, I'd say first, poverty,
Okay.
right? Because we know we are just coming up in this part of the world, right? And so I would say one of the factors is poverty. So if you go and check most of the like ladies or women that are involved in maybe offenses of like stealing, if you ask them like what really happened, you'll find out that this person does not even have enough, right? Except in some circumstances where someone is kleptomaniac. I don't think anybody as an adult in their right sense, even if they don't have, would just like to go ahead stealing other people's property. So I'd say one of the underlying factor is poverty. Another one would be mental health, issues, maybe as a result of trauma and some of these effects. There are some women that are traumatized. They don't seek psychological help. Perhaps they don't have the financial capacity to do so, or they don't even know that what is wrong with them is psychological, maybe as a result of the trauma that they've gone through when they were kids. If you are born into a poor background, it's an extended family, nobody cares about you, you just have to find a way to hustle on your own. So many people are scarred, but they don't even know that they are scarred because they just think it's normal now, should be what you are going through, and that person went through it and they came out of it. So how is your own different? Why are you acting so sensitive and so emotional? African women, the world sees African women as strong and courageous and bold. And so some women are going through trauma, psychological issues, but they don't really open up about it. There's this particular actress, I can't really remember her name, but so many times you come to social media and say she's fed up of her marriage, her husband is this, and she will just come to social media and write a lot of things. Then later she'll say she's fine, she has bipolar disorder,
Fine.
yeah, she'll say she's having mental health issues, that she has anger problems, and that mental health issue, that some women, it can be postpartum disorder,
Yes,
right? They want to
depression.
strangle their kids. There are women that have killed their own babies because of all of that. But we have a society that doesn't, it's now that people are now getting aware about your mental health, take care of your mental health. If you are getting angry unnecessarily, don't you think it's more emotional? Even when you are poor, you tend to be angry and just angry.
You get angry.
Yes, now because you have bills to pay and no money.
These are some of the factors, and I will also say for some, it is bad relationship. When you're in a marriage with a man that is literally like a devil, and this man has pushed you to the extent that you can literally take a knife and put it through his heart, and you will literally feel like, I I don't care. They can come for me. Let them marry. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That is how, all these factors just come together. So some people are not really born with the hearts to be criminals. It's conditions, circumstances that brought out that
Side.
devil, that demon in them.
Yeah. So what do you think, Jessica?
Okay. Now, to buttress what Okpe said on relationship. Some women, they love women love. Do you know? Because now, especially if the guy is like their first love. And sometimes these guys would gaslight the women into thinking, oh, I'm all you have. You literally can't do anything without me. So they want to please this guy with everything and anything. Now, this guy is a Yahoo guy, for example. He has a gullible girlfriend. Oh, I'm in love. I need to do anything for my guy. The guy does not want the money wired into his own account. Now he asks the girlfriend, well, because it's money. See, women and love, momo love and money, they have something that is causing all of them to intertwine in a kind of way that will make them run mental.
Yeah.
So this guy finds a way to wire the money into the girlfriend's account. And then
And when we say wire, it's like transfer the money.
yeah, sorry, transfer. Now kasala come burst.
Okay.
Everything come scatter. It come turn to yam, pepper, scatter. Then police now chase the whole thing. The guy is now not in the equation. Trace it back to the girl. The girl is now the guy is aware that police is coming. Baba don't jackpot. Now the girl is not like, it's not me, it's my boyfriend, prove it. The money did not come as in support law. The guy did not put the money in his account first and transfer to you.
Yeah.
So there's nothing connecting him and that transfer. So the money has entered into the girl's account. Please, who will the police catch? The girl. Because I love him, I want to please him, and all sorts. Ladies, let's be careful the kind of love that we love. Love with your sense, love with your head, not just your heart. This heart will mislead us sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, bad parenting. Imagine a parent telling the daughter that wants to gain admission, she has gained admission into school, but no finance. The girl walks up to her father, daddy, my admission has clicked though. What do we do? The father is saying, do what your mates are doing.
Yeah.
The girl now will not ask, what are my mates doing? Maybe the father is talking about her mates that are working legal jobs to fund themselves. Now, because, as Africans, when we say something, we actually mean the negative part of it sometimes. Especially when parents say, don't you see what your mates are doing? Now we begin to have a negative mindset towards what your mates are doing, instead of it to have the positive side towards what your mates are doing. Don't you see what your mates are doing? She's like, oh, okay, you want me to go and do shit? You want me to go and do this? You want me to go and do that to get money to finance myself in the school? Okay, no problem. And she ends up doing illegal things that lands her in prison. Yeah. So these are some of the factors I think contribute to these things.
Yeah, and for the first one that you mentioned, don't you think it's actually connected to the ladies? Most times these ladies, their education stops. I mean, you mentioned the case of women that the money is transferred to their own account instead of the guy, and so they become. Would we even call them accomplices in the crime?
Yeah, they're
would you call them?
Yeah, they are.
Or they are the main. How are they treated in the law? Are they considered as the main suspect
because the money entered their own
account?
Well, since the money entered an account, if they can't even trace it to the boyfriend at all, it's more of like if she's really aware that, okay, this my boyfriend is doing something illegal.
Yeah.
It's totally different from she doesn't even know what he does. She didn't know what he's into is illegal. So with our full mind, our consciousness, knowing the consequences of what the guy is doing, if the guy was also caught, she would be an accomplice to the guy's crime.
Yeah.
Because she knows exactly what she was doing.
And then, like I was trying to say, don't you think maybe this is as a result of the education of women not being at par as that of most men?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that is in a kind of way, it is a contributing factor. Not totally, because we have illiterates doing legal jobs and they are doing well for themselves. But for some people, this education, it is something that I feel, even as an illiterate, there's this saying that it's better for you to not need it and you have it. Now for you to need it and not have it,
Yeah.
do you get? So now there are certain places that education will get you to regardless.
Yeah.
Now you don't have it, you want to get a job in the oil sector, for example. I think you need a certain level of education
Yeah,
to get this thing.
definitely.
Now they don't have this certificate. Some people go as far as forging the certificate. Do you get?
Yeah.
And then the authorities find out, get the police involved, it lands them in prison. So I think yes, the education part of it has a has something that it has to do with it.
And then when we look at it, women are more emotional. Like
Oh, yeah.
in
Some
terms of
women are.
in terms of women having to steal or maybe steal from work just because they want to take care of their
Kids.
family,
Okay,
or
children,
they want
especially when
to,
children are involved.
yes, or they do something that implicates them while trying to help the men they were in love with. These are cases that we see on a regular, and it's quite painful that, in this day and age, a lot of women don't even have bank accounts. Why?
Oh,
Their
they
husbands
don't.
did not allow them.
Yes, and someone will say we put it in a joint account. What is stopping you from having your own personal account outside the joint account with your husband?
No.
So love, you see, that's why I say this love of it is. Some women will not love with their head; they'll love with only their heart, and heart is very fragile. Any small thing to pop. Do you get? Now
Yeah.
for women who do these things because of family, now especially when children are involved, oh, there is nothing a mother will not do for her children. Now, I'm sure the mother must have tried and thought of various means to get money. Maybe she has asked friends didn't turn up, family didn't turn up. She has tried to put her hands in certain menial jobs.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it wasn't
Forthcoming.
exactly. So she, maybe let's take this for example. She happened to pass by a provision store that is left unattended, and then, or maybe it is somebody's in the shop, yeah. She enters the shop and then it's big enough, too big for one person to handle. So unfortunately it is one person that is there. She sends the person to, hey, I want that one over there. We see in this Nollywood movie, sometimes there are things that we should pick from it. I want that one over there. And then she's putting her hand into the pot of money to take money from it, unaware that maybe there's a CCTV camera watching her, or somebody outside has seen her and they're like, hey, thief.
Yeah.
You know, I'll,
Yeah.
No,
You
go
can
on,
go
go
on.
on.
I'll say in the situation of women, like, I don't know if you notice, but I noticed that on social media, sometimes you see women that are involved in crimes such as drug trafficking, goods trafficking, and I'm
Yeah.
like, Mama, like,
Why?
Why? Do you
How?
understand? Because you see this person, she's not even looking as if she has even gotten money in her life. Do you understand? And
Yeah.
she's being held. So I'll still say yes. You know, when a woman is passionate about her children, they want to take care of their children, they want to see their words do fine, so they can, tend to put them, they tell them, just carry this drug once, don't worry,
Yeah.
we'll cover you, you'll not be caught. Meanwhile, the rich man that has sent her to do that is somewhere, hidden and protected, and no one would see him. Then I'll say for girls that are involved in crimes, I'd say for most of them it's just like peer pressure, social media pressure, wanting to slay, wanting to look good. There's so many times we see videos of girls that say, slay mama stole wigs, slay mama stole clothes, slay mama stole shoes.
I saw a video, was it last week, of a lady that went to a boutique and then she stole very expensive dresses, like very expensive abayas.
The one I even
just
saw
to slay.
was wigs. They entered the wig shop and there were two.
Yeah.
So I think they did something to the person. I think they drugged the person. I don't know how they did it, but CCTV camera captured it. I don't know how they drugged the person. And then this person just, went off. They started stealing wigs, expensive wigs from this place. Unaware that CCTV camera is watching them and their face was showing directly to the CCTV camera like this. Do you get? So these things, I don't know, because you want to slay.
Because if a girl is stealing to sponsor herself, you can be like, hey, yeah, let's, temper mercy. You can't temper mercy with justice at the court of law, because stealing is stealing, right? No matter the motive.
Yeah.
So it still boils down to the fact that some people is just peer pressure, poverty, lack of proper education, as she has mentioned earlier, especially girls that are in the village. Maybe they are coming to Lagos for the first time in their life, they didn't go, maybe they just, all they did was one local secondary grammar school,
Mm-hmm.
and then they come to Lagos, they see the big girls, and they are trying to, get along,
Don't
feel
to feel
among,
among, yeah.
and all of that. So,
And then, when you mentioned that of village girls, we see ladies that come as maids. They come to Lagos or to the city to work as maids for families. And in order to punish them, you see them being sent to prison for maybe very, very minute,
Trivial.
very minute issues. And then that's how they are punished. They are sent to jail, they're sent to prison,
True.
and they are forgotten there. And then when you hear their matter, and you be like, wow,
that reminds me,
yeah,
the matter I went for, that was sometimes this week.
okay,
Those guys, I saw them in the court cell, and they were begging me that man is wicked. Can you imagine we are here because of 1,500 naira?
Whoa.
And I was
yeah,
like, seriously? One of them is mature, the other is a young guy. And they're like, please, they don't want to stay here, they are tired. And the man that took these guys and ensured they are locked up, the man is telling me he's 60-something years old, there's nothing he wants to do with it, but they should
1,500.
you know, 1,500.
1,500.
So it's ridiculous.
1,000.
Yeah,
It is actually very ridiculous. And they're even
They
from
shocked-
Ibadan.
they shocked me back
I
home.
guess they're from Ibadan. They took them from Ibadan and they brought them down here. So, situations like
1,500.
that. Because
Yeah.
when you look at those grown
for breaking plates, people go to jail.
you wonder like, okay,
Say what?
what do you want
Yeah.
to do with this 1,500
500
naira that you are? I saw the man, and honestly, like, as a lawyer now, you can't just be spewing your mind. Like,
Yeah.
but if you were just a lady, you'd have been like, seriously, you lock people up for 1,500. Like, why can't you
1,500
go to their
that
family
it will not
members?
it will not give you financial breakthrough. It will not reduce
So
from you. You
sometimes-
just want to be wicked.
Yes.
It's wickedness.
So
That's
it.
the
maybe
wickedness.
maybe felt they stole the 1,500 and they were not admitting it. Then it was like, then arrogance came in,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
I will
like, I'm
show
going to
you
show
why
you
I'm
pepper.
bam.
Yeah.
And he even said he was warning them that once their matter gets to court, they are going to keep adjourning. So he knows the whole
implication,
process.
yes.
He knows the implication of what he's doing.
Mm.
But intentionally, you just, and now they're still there.
Yeah.
So,
And again, some ladies, they used to bring it upon themselves. You're in a relationship with a guy that is literally not worth it, because if you have to fight with a fellow woman over a guy, the guy ain't worth it. Why are you fighting with the girl? What stops you from fighting with the guy? Not fighting that you will cause serious injury on the guy, and then you're landing yourself in prison. Why don't you just walk away instead of inflicting injury on another person that will land you in prison? You go and pour acid on another girl for a guy. If the guy wanted you so much, he shouldn't have a second option. Why are you going to fight your fellow woman? Why not leave the relationship because the guy does not worth it? It's as simple as that. So
There's so many factors, and I don't know. I remember this lady, young girl that walked up to. She came to meet us then when we went for one of our prison visitations, and she was just crying. And Madame said she couldn't find something. She had been serving with this woman. She has been a maid for the longest. They moved to Lagos, and then the woman said she couldn't find a piece of her jewelry. So the girl is an orphan.
okay.
Yeah. Well, let me say the young lady is an orphan, and then the woman said if she doesn't find it, she was going to send her to jail. And now she's been there for years.
Because of a piece of
Now I
jewelry.
am very sure our madam has even forgotten about her.
And she has found her jewelry, or maybe somebody in her family that
Yeah.
took the jewelry.
there are people that have gone to jail because of goats. They stole a goat.
As soon
And
as
sometimes they don't even steal these things.
Because for somebody
it's
to
crazy.
steal a goat, they're probably hungry. They want to sell the goat so that they can use the money to feed
Yeah.
themselves. And they have all these organs that I just feel, for me, when I listen to some of these stories, I'm like, so why can't your boss just be human? Just, have a little bit of humanity and just be like, well, I'll just let you go.
Mhm.
But sometimes
And
it does feel like I'm
probably
going to
replace
teach
it with
you.
a salary. Or something.
Because the people that are even committing all these big crimes, drug trafficking, child trafficking, all these hefty crimes,
Yeah.
they know how to like just
Get away with
dodge the law or twist
Yeah,
the
no, they are well
justice
connected.
system, and they walk out of it. But you see those poor people
They can't afford
that
lawyers.
yeah, exactly.
They'll be
they can't.
oppressing them.
Yeah.
They're the ones that fall victim of all this.
Sad.
Yeah.
So sometimes if you don't have money, it's just better to be careful because
Being your
you don't know how devil will push you.
But
To
can
not
you be
wicked
careful enough?
madam.
Can you be careful
That's
enough?
it. You can be in your
Because
corner and
it's-
then trouble comes to you.
Yes, I mean, someone who is working as a maid is not financially empowered. She cannot afford a lawyer.
Yeah, she shouldn't steal her madam's jewelry.
What
How
if she
do you,
didn't
how
steal
do you
it?
know she stole it?
Yeah, what if she didn't steal it? It
What
is
if
the
she
madam's
sent
word
her there
against her
because she
word.
felt like she was looking too beautiful, she doesn't want her to take her husband, and let me just
Let me get rid of
I
her.
mean,
Exactly.
there are so
There is
many
that.
factors to these
Yes.
things.
Or
That's
maybe she already knows the jury is missing. She just wants to blame somebody, and then the
Yeah.
innocent girl happened to be
It's true.
on the.
But I'm talking of people that intentionally
Commit the crime. Yeah.
If you know, like you don't have maybe kind of special backing or someone that is guard, just
Yeah.
be careful. Do your head like this, and be mindful of the company you keep, what you do, so that you don't
Yeah.
get yourself in problems that you can't resolve.
Okay, so we've discussed on so many aspects, but I want us to bring it to the part of the law. I want us to bring it home. So, how are the female offenders perceived, and how are they handled in the criminal justice system?
Well, for female offenders, it's still the same with the male offenders. Although before we know in the society, it is generally perceived that women are not so much of criminals.
Okay.
But with the rates of the way things are going, there are more women that are committing crimes too. So they're just arraigned the normal way, their male counterparts too are arraigned in court. The only difference is just that when it comes to female or women correctional center, they are given, better treatment, they are women, they need to be well taken care of. Unlike, the men correctional center where there can be thousands of them
Yeah.
in one particular room, congestion, smell, like they don't literally care.
Because they're guys.
But for the female correctional center, at least they are given some amount of care and it's not as congested as the male correctional. So that's just the only difference. And when it comes to girls below the age of 18, as we've said in the previous video, that commits crime, is still the same provision of the Child Right Act and the Children and Young Persons Act that applies to them.
Oh, to the women too.
Girls, not women.
Oh, to the girls.
Okay.
Below the age of 18.
18. Okay.
Okay. So when we say that the number of the women in the correctional homes, they are not as that of the men, is it to say that women commit lesser crime, or we have just a few number of men who commit crime?
True, women commit lesser crime because African in general, right from onset, there's a special training that is given to a girl child because you're going to represent your family in another man's house. So your parents don't want you to go and embarrass them there. You don't want to hear that Omota fella no jali. Sure you get so there's a kind of training they give you. There's a kind of respect, there's a kind of behavior that is expected of you as a girl child, even right from growing up. A guy can be rough, he can be playful. They don't pay attention to them. There was one day I was telling someone that, did you notice that as a girl, if you go somewhere, people tend to stare at you. Yes, you're a girl, you draw attention naturally, just like that. There's a kind of attention that a girl attracts that a guy can walk in and nobody really cares.
Except you're a fine bloke.
Yes, likewise from the home. The mother will be telling, do this, sweep this, you kneel down with your two legs, and you see the guy doing like, and nobody will be like, he's a guy, once he has money, it's fine. So, because of that, women in the society, they tend to be more careful, they tend to stay out of trouble more. I mean, you literally don't, in university itself, you can count the number of girls that are doing terrible things, right?
True.
That this one is doing this. Unlike, if you want to count the number of guys that are doing Yahoo, you can count the number of girls that are doing Yahoo compared to the number. Sure you get. So it's just like that.
Okay. So we would like to, I wish we could continue with this, but we have to draw the curtain because our time is fast spent. Then I would like to put this out there that here at Edford Foundation, we provide free legal representation for people that cannot afford to get lawyers. So if you know women or men out there who who need lawyers to represent them, please get in touch with us. And if you're here to like, share, and subscribe, please do that right now. Share this video with your connect. Final notes, yeah. This is Edford Foundation. Justice for You is brought to you from the stable of Edford Foundation. And then we try to educate people on their rights, their human rights. And so we have 4 ongoing projects here at Edford Foundation. We have the Lawyers Now, which is an app that can be downloaded on the go. You need the app on the go. So whenever you see people who need lawyers, who need legal representation, they can always reach out to us. It could be you. So it's best to have that app on your phone so that whenever you need legal representation, you can just send us a message and a lawyer will attend to you immediately, in seconds. Then also we have the My Rights, My Freedom. This program is brought to you from the My Rights, My Freedom project. We also have the Lawyers Now. We have the Lawyers Without Border. And these are our lawyers stationed at court environment, and they take matters from the court cells and they handle them. So we would like you to come and support us here at Edford Foundation. Yeah, I forgot to mention, we have Life After Prison Initiative. So in any way you would like to support us here at Edford Foundation, please do reach out to us, as it will mean so much to us and to so many people out there that you could be touching their lives. So ladies, we'd like you to say bye to our viewers at this point.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you for
guys.
listening.